when is my child going to be normal? Well, for us, they are who they are. They are neurodivergent. They just learn differently, you see.
Hi, I'm Lisa Davis. Welcome to the Autism Truth Podcast brought to you by AutiParent. Today, we will be talking about how ABA success stories show real progress. Now, before we begin, have you had a chance to explore AutiParent.com yet? It's a platform designed to support autism parents in Malaysia and worldwide. Joining us today is Teresa Ling from the ABA Project Malaysia, a co-founder and behavior consultant with an MSc in Applied Behavior Analysis from Western New England University and over 10 years of experience supporting individuals with autism spectrum disorder in Malaysia and the United States. She is a board certified behavior analyst, international behavior analyst, certificate, and Malaysia certified behavior analyst with experience across early intervention, school, and community settings, including the New England Center for Children in Massachusetts. Hello, Teresa. Welcome to the Autism
Hello,
Truth
thanks for having
Podcast.
me.
I'm very excited to have you. Now, before we head into the podcast, let's watch a short video from the ABA project.
Hello, I'm Carmen and welcome to the ABA project.
We are a center for neurodivergent learners to achieve their fullest potential through evidence-based applied behavior analysis. Let me show you around. Let's go. Over here, we have our play and waiting behavior. Team of therapists are certified by either a BCBA board, the Malaysian ABA board, or a QEBA board, which all you can find through our website. After walking in, the first room you'll see is our consultation room, and this is our co-founder, Teresa. This is one of our first therapy room. This is our therapist, Jasmine. Ready for level 2? So this is our upstairs play area where the kids would come and have their playtime. Here's one of our therapy rooms, and our 2 therapists here is working with one of our kids. Hi! Over here, we have 2 other small therapy rooms for a younger learner who needs a little bit more quiet space. Another one of our therapists. Hi! Next room. Hi! This is also one of our other individual therapy rooms. Hi! Over here, we have our therapist's office space. Next, we have our transition room, if you come in and see. So over here is a little bit of more of an open space. Kids who are almost ready to get out of one-to-one and go into a more school setting, they would be in here where it's a little bit more louder. We have a group table. The final few areas, come on. Right here we have an indoor play area to help with them with their crossover skills, climbing, and a huge area here for any activities that the therapist has prepared for them.
All right. Well, that was awesome. You have such a great center, Teresa. I'm really impressed. All right. So let's jump in. What is
Well,
ABA?
ABA stands for Applied Behavior Analysis, and it's an evidence-based approach that helps neurodivergents learn meaningful skills more to their day-to-day skills, and understanding how we can support their learning better by understanding what makes things difficult for them and using positive reinforcement to help support the skills.
Now, Teresa, when parents hear the word success when it comes to ABA, I assume expectations can vary widely. So, how do you define real progress in a way that parents can understand and families can understand?
We often look at the most short-term goal for the student. For, let's say, like, what are the short-term objectives that we could achieve to help make their life more meaningful, easier, that is socially significant to the family members.
And what are some of the things that you've seen that actually have made a difference, whether it's sensory overload, emotional regulation? you mentioned, or the video mentioned some of the crossover work that's done. Talk to us
Well,
about some of these things.
neurodivergent individuals, especially when they are a lot younger, they have sensory overloading. They can't really focus too much on learning. It's difficult for them to even respond to instructions. So, in the therapy setting, we often help them with putting them in a very individual room first, to minimizing the distraction, to help focus, teaching them how to engage, how to be attentive, and learn this what we call learning to learn behavior. Later on, when they can be better at sustaining attention, maybe they can sit for a longer time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, without being distracted. Then later on, we can slowly and introduce them to another environment that has more distraction around them. So then they can still, with the distraction, they are still able to pay attention to the therapist and to follow instructions that we give.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So when you do see success, I'm assuming that it is small at first. And how do you talk to parents about managing their
It's a
expectations?
really difficult topic to talk to parents about this because they always have very big goals for us. One being, when is my child going to be normal? Well, for us, they
Yeah.
are who they are. They are neurodivergent. They just learn
Right.
differently, you see.
I don't like the word normal. I would be really offended. So it's, it's
Right,
good that you have your dog. I'd be like,
right.
wait a second. I know what they mean though, but it's still, there's got to be another way to word it. But I understand what they're saying. I would say something like, when will my child struggle less? When will my child adapt more easily to
Mhm.
different environments, right? Versus, do you talk to them about that or do you
No,
just let
I
it
don't
go? And
let
I'm
it
not
go. Like,
judging. I'm just
absolutely, like what you said, I will talk to them
good.
like that way. I would say like, okay, let's aim at how we can help them struggle lesser,
Right.
be better at learning and adapting to the environment because they just learn differently. They're just learning in a different way. It's not that they are not normal. So we always have to talk like that, and we always have to bring their focus on the short-term goal and make the expectation first. So like you
Right.
see, the success is so small. Like we're using a magnifying glass to look at each skill of the student. So we
Right.
always have to project, okay, this is a
Mhm.
long-term, not too long-term goal that we're looking at. For example, we are having the student to maybe toilet train, right? Toilet training is a very big topic for the parents. But because your child is not able to take in any liquid, is not drinking water, your child is only drinking milk. So we need to start teaching step by step. How do we get there? Because if you do not take in more water, you can't produce urine, and we can't train you to pee in the
Exactly.
toilet. You see, so then we have to do step by step. Okay, now we are now increasing the water intake from like 1 sip to maybe 10 sip in an hour. So we plan out the goals like this, a small little targets like this, and to guide the parents to understand that goal to be toilet trained needs to be weighed first. You need to hold on to that first. Let's talk about this step by step. Let us achieve that, and then we can go forward.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are some early signs of progress, Teresa, that parents might miss or underestimate when their child is
Could you
doing
rephrase that
ABA?
question?
Oh, sure. So I'm assuming that when the child's been going to ABA for a while, there are early signs of progress, but some parents might miss it because they're looking for something bigger. What are some examples of early
For
wins?
example, when we're talking about improving speech, because this is one of the red flags and one of the main concern of the parents. So then they will be like, okay, when is my child talking? Then I'll be like, okay, so like your child is still learning how to imitate sound production. So like we will say a word and we're teaching the student how to imitate the sound. So if we could do that, you see, then we are one step closer to teaching your child to learn how to speak. But they often will be like, but I want him to speak, or I want her to speak. I like, what is that related to speaking? So we have to always bring them back to the baby step, like how they babble first, and then how they learn imitation. And from
Right.
imitation, we can model the correct language. Then the student can pick up when I can say this word, when do I need to ask for a break, when do I need to ask for help, under what circumstances. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that makes so much sense. So, how important is parent involvement in the ABA strategies to last? Do they need to do them at home? Is there
It
homework? How does
is
that work?
super important actually. Like a lot of the parents just overlook how important it is because you see, you just send your child for us for maybe 3 to 5 hours a day. And the rest of the time, the child is at home with you. So you are the key person actually. We can teach the skill, but you need to maintain the skill for your child. So we often encourage the parents to come in, join in parent training. If you struggle to manage problem behavior, if your child has a meltdown, talk to us. Let us help you how to manage the behavior. You don't understand why? Okay, we will teach you the function of behavior, and then understanding how do you de-escalate, how do you promote this positive behavior change at home. And oftentimes our student has this called generalization problem. So they learn whatever they learn from the clinical setting may not be able to translate back to home. So parents are so important in this role because they should learn what we do and help the child transfer the skill back home and do it exactly how we do it. So then they can start seeing improvement at home too.
Now, do you have individual sessions with the parents to teach them, or how does that work so they know
Yes,
what to
we
do at
do.
home?
It depends on their availability. So usually we have like a month. Each month we have once or twice. We have had one training for a family actually, so not just the parents, like the maid will come,
Yeah, I should say family.
the grandparents would come in as well. We teach
That's
everybody,
nice.
so we have like a group session where we teach all of them how to handle problem behavior. We dissect each and every problem they have. Usually we target the concerns they have at home because these are the immediate help that they need. Then later on, after we tackle that, then we would teach them, okay, what are the things that they can practice at home? The ones that this child has mastered in the clinical setting, then we can bring back home and send it back, so then you can practice too.
Oh, that's really good. Now, I'm assuming that families might feel discouraged if they see like a little bit of progress and then there's like a long plateau where nothing really happens. Do you have to talk to them about how it's going to go up
Yes,
and
we
down?
do. Sometimes they will be like, oh, what happened? I see yesterday he can do this and today he cannot, and tomorrow like you're telling me what. So we do see a lot of that, but we do always tell them that because it's their unique way of learning. So sometimes we do see ups and downs. The skills that they can demonstrate today may not show tomorrow. Therefore, we need consistency. We need to have procedure integrity where all of our therapists are doing the same thing and teach so that we can measure real success. And we don't do like, oh, today she can do it. Oh, yay, student A can do it. And then we can, okay, master it tomorrow. You can send home and do. No, we don't do that. We measure
Right.
across different days,
Okay.
maybe 3 days, and then we look at the percentage. If we see a 90% or 100% each time, and we make sure that it's across different setting and different therapists, the student is still showing a consistent skill, then we are confidently said, okay, the student has already mastered this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, do you work with children starting as at toddler age,
We
like two or
actually
younger?
we have had youngest 18 months, really
Oh,
young.
wow.
But most of my clients are about 2.5 to 3 years old. They will start. And but I do have older kids like 11, 12, and in my career, the oldest individuals that I've worked with is 27 years old.
Oh, wow. What do you like working with the 10, 11, 12-year-olds and even the 27-year-old? Is that a kind of a nice change from the
Yes,
toddlers?
we actually each different age group we work on different skills. The young toddlers we are always
Right.
focusing on the basic skills first. Their communication skills, their social skills that they're not developing, maybe play skills, a lot of play skills. Then later on, the 5 year plus, we will start working on preparing for them to go to kindergarten. If they have the potential to be going to kindergarten, then we will push for it. So learning maybe pre-academic skills, tracing, writing, coloring, all this. And then later on, if we have like a 11 to 12-year-old kid coming in, if they are not in the normal, sorry, if they're not in the
I
the
understand.
education system, that means they are actually
Right.
having some level of problem behavior that they are not being able to be successful in their environment. But then we will
I
focus a
see.
lot on
Okay.
behavior management, teaching them how to control. A lot of them has a lot of outbursts that they couldn't control. Then we would focus on teaching that. As for the older or the young, we call it young adults, we will prepare them for
Sure.
job, like interviewing skills, maybe
Oh,
some like silverware wrapping. We will teach them that. We will go to, oh, it's not just not here, but in the US, I've been a job coach. I brought the student to to a pharmacy to work. He will rotate the stock and whatsoever. So like these are the goals for the
okay.
older individuals. Mm.
Oh, that's great. Since we've been talking about parents, I just want to talk a little bit about Audi progress. So, parents, if you've ever struggled to remember every detail about your child's progress, when speaking with a doctor, you will love Audi progress. Audi progress lets you track your child's development daily or weekly through quick or detailed forms and everything securely saved in one place. I definitely could have used this when my daughter was young. You can even upload short videos or voice clips to give better context. Each child has a unique profile ID, so reports can be instantly shared with doctors. No more relying on memory, just clear, continuous insights that help your child's care team stay informed and connected. Check it out at AutiParent.com today. Let's talk a little bit about some of the success stories. And I don't, no matter how big, how small, I would love for you just to share some of the ones that stand
Oh,
out to
there's this
you.
one kid. It stands out to me the most because it was during the COVID season. You see, I worked directly with this
Uh-huh.
student, and he came to me when he was 3.5. He wasn't talking, not even a sound. He wasn't able to join in his normal class because the parents sent him to a normal kindergarten, like a kindergarten where he wasn't being able to be included in. He was just standing at the corner of the door, crying, screaming every single day. So I came in, yeah, poor child. I came in and started working with this student. At the beginning, of course, the parents were a bit skeptical, like, who's this person coming to work, right? Later on, COVID hit,
Right.
nobody can go to anywhere. So yeah, and so
Uh,
fortunate that his house was just nearby my place, so I could just drive over without being stopped by police. Actually, we had that movement control last time. So I went to his house every single day. I worked with him 3 hours per day. I still remember the first time he made a sound because he wanted a puzzle, a piece of puzzle. I was holding the piece of puzzle. He was like, push and pulling and doing all those things. And at one point, he got so frustrated. He's like, ugh! And I was like, oh, puzzle! And I just let go of the puzzle and he instantly got it. So the next time, he
wow.
just looked at me and he, ugh! And I gave it to him. So from then on, his speech grew a lot, like instantaneously. And I remember I had to teach him, like, of course, like every single sound that he made had to be taught first at that point because he couldn't make a
Okay.
sound. He couldn't make the
Wow.
l sound. I remember changing the how you call a grandpa. Like he can't make the sound. Girl, can I call you something else? I consulted with the parents.
Right.
So like we did that from talking coarsely like biscuit to I want biscuit to later can I have a piece of biscuit please later on right now. So he no
Wow.
longer come to me. He is attending an international school, learning without a shadow aid all by himself. He learns piano right now and he
Oh,
wouldn't stop talking. He's like a little professor, and he'll be telling you things that he did over the weekend. When you see him, he's amazing. This is like the most successful story for me because like ABA
That's
changed
huge.
his life. Can you imagine?
Wow. That's amazing. What are some smaller stories? So just again to balance people's
Cross.
expectations, but I do think it's great. No, but it's great that you shared that because it's a
Mm.
real story, right? It's a
Well,
huge success.
the
It
smaller
should be.
stories we will go back to just toilet training. We have a lot to share actually. So
Oh,
this kid has the
okay.
most fear of potty. So you should would not sit on the potty because the moment you go near she goes near the potty, she would scream, she would cry, and she would just tantrums. Yes, so we had to do some we call
Oh,
that desensitization. It's just like a toleration training where okay, you need to be able to accept
right.
this party next to you. So at the beginning, we're just targeting the student being able to be around the party without crying. Later on, we move forward to you touch the party a little bit without crying. Then later on, she starts sitting in the party. You don't have to produce. I'm not asking you to
Mhm.
produce. We're just looking at you being
Right.
calm, sitting down in the party. So now we are moving very in a very good direction. She can sit in the party for 30 minutes without a fuss, and she is happy, engaged, and she's still learning. Even sometimes we do some work on the toilet seat. Well, I promise you, it's just a party that's outside
I
of the
understand.
toilet is clean.
Right.
Yeah, that is the smaller gain.
Mhm. Now, what about anything with sensory overload or emotional
We
regulation?
have this loud sound. Like we have a student who was unable to tolerate crying. Like anybody who cries, he
Mm,
just shuts his ear and he would scream and he would
yeah.
start engaging in problem behavior, probably start aggressing to the people around him. So this has brought to our attention, of course, and we started working on him tolerating it. So like at the beginning, we would praise him being calm first. Later on, we exposed to the sound of a crying kid, but it's not the one that he is annoyed with. He doesn't like a particular crying sound from a particular person, so it's very specific. So we started with different
Oh,
types of crying sound, from soft to loud to a longer duration. And he's still able to tolerate and he's still working, but he's like, he looked a bit puzzled and like frustrated sometimes. So after that, we could move forward to using recording the real person who really frustrates him a lot. We recorded the
mm,
sound and we started playing. So we also not just help him learn how to be calm, but also he could get out of it. So like we teach him functional skills. He couldn't speak verbally, so he uses a speech generating device. So that we taught him to
mhm.
press the button, generate the button, like just press, I need a break, and I go out. So he can have a response that, okay, look, I really don't like this. I want to be out of here. So not just teaching
Yes.
him how to control himself, but to give him a voice, like a way to get out of the situation that he doesn't like and he feels aversive to.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things that frustrates me sometimes with parents in these situations is the child will tell them what they need, and the parent's like, no, no, you're
Mhm.
fine. You can handle it. And that drives me nuts. For example, with the holidays coming up, when my daughter was really little, we didn't go. And that would upset uh, my husband at the time. That would upset his family. And I would try to explain it's just too loud. Now, as she got older, she could go and then she would take like sensory breaks and she would cuddle with her grampy. She was really close with him and he'd read her a little story. And I think you have to be willing to meet the child where they are, not where you want them to be, right? So, because the holidays are coming up, is that something you would recommend as well? Like, don't take your child if you know and they say, and listen, there's 30 people in here talking at once, it's too much. And maybe they don't have the language for that, but they could express it like you were just saying, in a different way. We need
We
to
do need to
listen.
listen. Well, there are a few ways to tackle that. Like if you are willing to start earlier, because holiday season is in December, or leading up
Yes.
Thanksgiving, leading up to Christmas. This is around the time, and you have a year to
Right.
prepare. So you can start early per se. If you have the right tools and you have
Yeah.
the right training to do that, you could just start teaching how to keep calm. Or you this is calm, you're cool and rewarding, and start giving your child a voice. If your child can't speak or like can't really express what they want to express, you can just model the language to so that they can get out of it by themselves without engaging in a lot of challenging behavior. Or you can
Right.
also give them some tools to help tackle this. For example, some headphones they could help
Right.
attenuate to reduce the noise. Sometimes I get frustrated too. It's too noisy. It's too loud. I understand. I'm not on special needs side, but I do understand that part. So like sometimes you just can't tolerate. But that's okay as long as you communicate your needs, and parents need to understand if the moment your child communicates his or her needs to you, we have to honor it. Mm.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And my daughter was unique in that she would seem totally fine. So everyone thought like I was just something was wrong with me, but then she'd be up all night crying because she was so overstimulated. So have you seen that before, like a delayed reaction in a child?
Not really, because
She is
unless the parents share the information with us, then we wouldn't be able
Oh,
to
okay.
understand. But we have heard of some of the challenges that the parents face at home, especially when during
Oh my
nighttime
goodness. Yeah.
they are unable to sleep, they're up crying. But again, like we can't pinpoint
Yeah.
exactly what happened, so I cannot give you a personal relation to like what
Right.
happened. But these are the stories that I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it very challenging when your child's, sometimes I feel like if they're acting out or having a tantrum, at least people know what's
Mm.
going on. And that's the child's way of saying, "Hey, I'm overwhelmed." But it's great, like you're talking about, of teaching them tools ahead of time to be able to communicate somehow that this is an overwhelming situation, or can I take a break? Or even kind of learning your child's cues, right? And kind of like taking them out of a situation if you see them starting to get
That's a very good
agitated.
point. Actually, we do have. I mean, technical term is called precursor behavior. So you would know, you would see
Oh,
the frowning starts, or maybe some sound will start. Your child may start shaking or start doing something that you know this is a sign. So if your child is not ready, maybe not push it at this time. Politely, okay. I mean, at least you tried, bring your kid out and then politely
mhm.
say, I'm sorry, we're gonna take a move. Or like take a break, take a short break in a car in a quiet environment
Yeah.
until your child is better, feels better, then you can come back in.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I think that is such great advice. Was there anything, Teresa, that we didn't touch on today that you were hoping we would talk about? Because I want to make sure
I
you
did
get to
share what I
share,
needed
what you're
to.
seeing and but it does sound amazing. Now, is it ever too late to start ABA? I mean, obviously, maybe if your child's 30, but like, let's say they're 10 and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so late to
Of
this. Can you
course, you
still
can
do
still do
it?
it. ABA is suitable for anybody, actually. It's not just for neurodivergent individuals. It's just a proven scientific method that is effective in teaching people how to learn. It is useful for Alzheimer patients, it's useful for adults, it's useful
Oh,
for other people. So, like, it's
oh, good. I was about to say I shouldn't have said 30. I was kind of joking, but then I remembered the 27. I thought, oh
well,
boy.
it's just that we say it's never too late to the game, but you must understand there are some challenges that we might be facing. So, like, because ABA helps a
Right.
lot on behavior, and if you are, let's say, 10-year-old, and then you start ABA treatment, your child has already had 10 years of repertoire
Right.
in however that they are doing, like for example tantruming to get what they want. So like it's 10 years of history that I
Right.
have to come in, like ABA have to come in and break that, like breaking,
True.
they're just breaking it apart and learning new skills. So it's just a little bit challenging. It takes a bit more time to see the effect, but I can assure you, you
Right.
will see the effect, and it is so effective.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's why we always talk about
Yes,
early
that's
intervention.
important. Early intervention is super important.
It really is. But the good thing is that there's hope. right? And that you can still check it out. And I have really enjoyed this conversation, Teresa. Tell everyone how we can learn more about you and your awesome ABA center.
Thank you. Well, I do actually urge everybody to go look at what ABA truly is, because we're now like ABA evolved, right? So it started back in those days where you will hear a lot of controversial topic and all that. I'm not going to talk about that today, but do make your research. Look at it, look at now, because every the world evolved, like we are improving, everybody is improving now. Is different from 10 years ago, it's not different from 20 years ago, so the science is constantly
Right.
improving. Right now what we're doing is no longer whatever the past have been talking about. So please check out what AVA really is right now.
All right, Teresa, I appreciate that. I want to wish everybody wonderful, happy holidays and a happy new year. Keep coming back to the Autism Truth podcast and be sure to check out AutiParent.com. All right, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Thanks. Bye.